Guys, my floor laying days, man, are over. So we're in the garage. I'm gonna show you what I did so far. Okay, that's the new bottom bracket I put on. Those are called, I believe they're called BB-10s or BB-5s. And as you see, the cable will go on the outside of the rail compared to your normal one like that goes on the inside. Okay, and we got our dedicated upper rail. That also comes with a bracket. That bracket, that has to go on the top. It's like that is actually about a half-inch above because that's how that worked with my dedicated low headroom rail there. So let's show you this side here. Okay, so we put the pulley on there. So what's going to basically happen is the cable will be on the outside of here. It'll go up. Nothing's interfering with it. It'll go over, wrap around that pulley. Then with our hook, we're going to put our hook in that slot right there. Also, what I did is I made these. What I did is I just drilled a hole through the bolt, and that clamps, because that's a secure cable right there. I haven't put the lifting cable on yet. That's the secure cable. That's a nice little idea. That's a nice little idea right there. Now, a lot of stuff, guys, might be different for your application. You might have to make things work. I had to drill a lot of holes. You know, it's like that piece right there, that's actually on upside down because it couldn't work any other way. Yeah, a lot of stuff you're going to have to, wow, look at that. Every application is going to be different. You know, especially if it's an application where there was never a garage door. You know, you're going to have a vice grip. You're going to have a stepper bit. Okay, that's a stepper bit. You're going to have some steel drill bits, preferably good ones. A magic marker, a socket set, a ratchet, a hammer, some leftover metal. You might have to make a bracket. A lot of patience, a lot of time. It took me 6 hours just to do that. I still have to do the other side. It took me 6 hours to do that, and I don't even have the lifting cables on yet. Another thing I want to show you guys. Well, let me pause you a second. This is worth every penny. Get yourself a socket adapter for your drill. I got these on Amazon. This is a 3/8. I also have a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. And basically all this does is it goes on your drill. So then you can get a socket. This will speed the job up, guys, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times faster. But let me tell you something. If you try to put all these bolts on with one of these, brother, you're going to be, man, you are going to be doing this. It's going to take you a year to do this. Go on Amazon and get yourself a socket adapter for a drill. They're only like $6, $7 for a set of 3 of these boys. And I mean, it speeds the job up, guys, like nobody's business. So let me show you that stuff again I did. Okay, now I still have to adjust the door. Once I get the springs wired up, the door, I'm going to have the door go over to the left side a little bit. As you see, that's about what, about an inch, maybe inch and a quarter gap, right? About an inch and a quarter. And this side here, it's probably about maybe an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. So you see, I'll get the appropriate name for those, but that's an outside cable bracket. That's what comes with the low headroom kit. You see, I had to, like, that little bolt there, I had to drill that boy in. Like I told you guys, drill a hole through the bolts, man. They work out great like that. You got to drill a bunch of holes for those to go in. If you're going to screw your brackets into concrete, get yourself one of those. That's a Bosch Bulldog Extreme, guys. That cost me $125. That's refurbished. The thing is worth its weight in gold. So now we got to do something with these. All these wires here, I got to change this. I got to put a modern box on here, a weatherproof box with a ground. All these wires got to go in conduit. Then that light fixture up there, that has to be mounted on wood. And that wire there, that has to be stapled into wood on top of the ceiling. So I got a lot more work to do. I may not even do this tomorrow. I mean, the other side. I may not even do the other side, guys. I'm exhausted. I've been on this, man. This right side here, I have been on this since 6 o'clock in the morning. It's now about 12 o'clock. Raining again. Yeah, so it's started raining this morning, like probably around 8 o'clock. So tomorrow I have to take my dog for a walk, guys. When you have a husky, man, those of you that had a husky or that have a husky, you know how it is. These dogs have so much energy in them. You're supposed to take them out every single day for a walk. And I did when we were down in North Carolina. But it's like as soon as I come back up here, my knees started acting up on me again. You know, it doesn't feel half bad now, but after kneeling down over there like I've been doing all morning, my knees hurting again. So, you know, and my husky comes before the motorcycle, guys. So, yeah, as for the garage door, guys, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, man. But it's not impossible to do, okay? That garage door right there, that was the very first garage door I put up in my entire life. And I'll be 100% honest with you guys. When I say guys, I mean guys and girls, because there is also females that are subscribed to this channel too. I'll be honest with you, I was scared to do a garage door. But, you know, what I did, what you do is you put the panels up. You know, they come in pretty good direction. You put the panels up, and then you have 16D spikes that you put on the side of that, and that holds the panels in until you get around to putting those side rails on. You know, you have to make sure that the door is level. Make sure the wood that you're going to put your brackets in is strong. You know, and you screw those on. You have to have one of those drill drivers. Because if you try doing that, man, if you try doing that with a socket, with a ratchet, I'll pray for you. Let me put it to you that way. Man, am I hot. It's like 60 degrees outside. I'm literally hot. And that still needs adjusted a little bit, okay? But it works. It needs adjusted a little bit. Now, the one over there, what we used to have is we used to have a 13, it was either 13 or 14 foot wide, one of the old wooden garage doors. And it broke, so I tore it up into pieces and we threw it out. And I would have got another 14-foot wide one, but I don't have that kind of money. You're looking at maybe $2,500, maybe more than that. So that 8-foot one, I think that was like $700. This one here was $600. This is actually an odd size. This is 8 feet wide by 6.5 feet tall. That's a real hard size to find. Home Depot were the only ones. So there's another place over in Ohio called Menards. They have them also. But that's an odd size. And the one over there is 8 by 7. The one I'm working on now. And neither one of these worked without a low headroom kit. So they're another $108. Like I said, you got to have vice grips, man. You got to have a marker. You got to have something to cut metal, like an angle grinder with a metal wheel on it, where you can cut metal, because you're going to have to make brackets. You're going to have to make pieces of steel where you're going to have to join another bracket on. I guarantee you, or you're going to have to cut your rails because they might be too long. You're going to need that thing that cuts metal, whether it's a sawzall, a bandsaw, a laser, a water jet, or whatever you have cut metal. You're going to need something that cuts metal. And whether you have laser beams coming out of your freaking eyes. And if you're going to drill in the concrete, you're going to need a hammer drill. But it's still cheaper to do it yourself. If I would have called somebody to put this door here up, they would have charged me probably about $1,500 to put this door up. If I would have called someone to do that project over there to put that the 65 concrete block up, frame it out for the door, frame it out for the garage door, I'm probably looking at about $15,000, maybe $20,000. So I did it all myself. I actually bought that door on credit, and the stuff over there I bought on credit. But they're not impossible to do, guys. What I do, man, is I do a little each week. I'm gonna have to look back on my video to see when I started the concrete block over there. But the garage door, I started on the garage door a month before we went on vacation, and I'm still not done with it. Now I probably won't do the other side until next Thursday. So hopefully, maybe next week, I'll actually be able to get the garage door operational. As for the big dog, guys, I haven't started this bike up, man. I got a bike over there. I haven't started this boy up, man. Don't worry, baby. We'll get you started. She's resting. The thing is, I haven't started this for probably about 3 weeks. But the thing is, when you don't use something like this, man, you save wear and tear on it. You save wear and tear on the clutch, the engine, the tires, the brakes, everything. It's in a warm garage. It's on a carpet. I swear by having having a motorcycle on a carpeted floor. That way the rubber doesn't touch cold concrete in the winter. So now next year, guys, next year I'm going to trade the Cadillac in, man. Because today's my birthday, by the way. I'm 63 years old. I'm going to try to retire when I'm 66. So this next vehicle we're getting is going to probably be my last vehicle. And that's why, we're going to try to move up to Tynesta or one of the small towns up there like Tityuk. And they get more snow up there than we get here. They get double the amount of snow what we get here. If we get a foot here, they're getting 2 feet up there. So that's why I want to buy a Jeep Wrangler, 4-door Jeep Wrangler. It doesn't matter if it's an automatic. Matter of fact, there's one right now that a Cadillac dealer has. I was so tempted to get it, man, because I could have traded the Cadillac. They would have took the Cadillac with no problem. A Cadillac, matter of fact, is still there. Now, if I was able to sell the motorcycle, I'd buy that right now. And let me see. I think it's it's a 2018 graphite color 4-door hardtop. Because I don't go for no soft tops. I'm afraid my dog will claw her way out. It's a hardtop 4-door 2018 Jeep Wrangler 4-wheel drive. I think it's a 6-speed. It's a clutch. It's manual. And it only has 54,000 miles on it. They're asking $23,899, which that's actually a really good price for that. And it's in impeccable shape. It comes inspected, brand new tires on it, and my payments would be probably about $430 a year. Finance it over 5, maybe 7 years. I'd probably finance it for 7 years if I can get it financed for 7 years. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for something used like that. But my problem is I still owe $4,000. Well, as of tomorrow, I'll send another payment into the car. I'll owe $3,750 on a car as of tomorrow. So usually a finance company wants 20% down. So they're going to refinance the $3,800 on $23,000. It'll be $26,000, be about $28,000 I'll be financing. They're going to want, let me see, 20% of 10,000 is what? 10,000. Yes, it's $2,000. And so they're going to probably want at least $4,500 down, which that'll take a good bit of our money. We're really not in a good position right now to do that, especially with my company being sold to another company. It's actually smarter for me to wait until this time next year. Because if they decide they don't want me, I'm stuck, brother. I'm literally done. I'm going to have a payment on a Jeep that's not even nearly started to be paid off, and not to mention our mortgage on our house and all the rest of the bills we have. We'd be stuck. Now, if I could sell the bike, then the money from the bike I can pay the car off. Or I could take the money from the bike and put that as a down payment. Then I could do it. But bike ain't selling around here, brother, because all these multi-waggers around here, man, are broke. They're all broke. They can afford to buy one of them great big. Oh my God, they're so big when you see these things. Big 4-door pickups. Oh my God, they're so big. It's almost like they're they're not real. They're so big. These big four. They're so big, brother. Big four-wheel drive pickups cost $125,000, 80,000. Some of them, if you're lucky enough to find one for 80. Poor boys are paying $1,800 a month for 7 years, and $3,000 a year for insurance. I'll say a prayer for them in the next life. You know, it's like one guy on a YouTube video. He has to have 3 jobs. He's voting for Trump because he actually believes Trump is going to reverse the economy, and Trump's going to help everyone out. So he's saying, I have to have 3 jobs. Well, you know what? Maybe if you wouldn't have bought a new SUV and a new pickup truck, brother, and maybe if you wouldn't go on a cruise every single year, you wouldn't need 3 jobs. As for Trump, guys, let me tell you something about Trump, man. Trump ain't gonna help none of y'all. Okay? Trump ain't gonna help none of y'all. He's there to make himself richer and his billionaire friends richer, not any of the regular, hard-working, working men, working stiffs of America. He ain't. Get that out your head, okay? You have been duped. You've been duped by the red tie, the royal blue suit. You've been duped by all the American flags behind them, the American flag pin, by Fox News Network, by Sky News Australia, is also owned by the people who own Fox News. They also own CBS. They also own several other news channels on YouTube. And I know this because I looked them up. I looked the Murdochs up. Okay. So what you guys need to do, the next time you put Fox News on and you believe what comes over that, you need to look up who owns, and Sky News Australia, there's also another news channel in Australia also that's owned by the Murdoch family also. They own something like a dozen news channels all over the world. And they have meetings every single day saying you only put content that's good for Trump because our interests are with him. You see, guys, the majority of Americans today, they have their faces glued to their iPhone. Whatever comes over that, they see and they know and they believe and they hear it. Whatever comes over that, they hear it, and then they see it and they smell it and they know it. Okay? And the people that run the world today, they know that. They know that's how they brainwash you. That's how they control what you think. So that's why his boy bought Twitter, because all the young kids are on Twitter. So whatever comes over Twitter, they're going to grow up believing. It's a form of early stage brainwashing that they're doing to your children. And they own several news media, several. A dozen, possibly 2 dozen. And that's how they brainwash you people. You're brainwashed. You're duped. You're a fool. You fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I'm going to do a video on how much credit card companies are worth. Chase credit card company alone is worth over $25 billion. Okay? Bank of America is also around that same amount. These companies, they've got money, so much money they don't know what to do with it. They're probably heating their house with $100 bills. You know, you're talking about how many credit card companies are in America? Each one, each one's worth billions of dollars. And yet you, the American fool, you're struggling to keep a couple $1,000s in the bank. You're struggling. Puff Daddy had, well, he still does. His net worth is $800 million. I'll bet you that boy never helped not one poor person of the black American race. It's like Trump the other day was in a grocery store over here in Indiana, PA. He gave that lady $100, and he said, well, "This is what we'll do for you in the White House," which he basically bought her a vote. That's illegal. $100. Why don't you give her some real money? Okay, $100. That's chicken feed. That can't even pay a phone bill today. Why don't you give her $1,000 or $5 or $10 or $50,000? Give these people some real money, man. These people need help. Give them a real money. It's like Shaq. You can look a YouTube video up about Shaq on YouTube, where he came across a bunch of little kids. They were playing basketball. He said, if you get the ball in the hoop, I'll give you $100. So they did. He gave him $100, and he said, "You stay in school and learn, and you'll be successful like me." $100. Why don't you give them some real money? Okay. Why don't you give them kids $1,000 or $10,000? I'm pretty sure he has it. He's worth over half a billion dollars, if not more, if not $1 billion. People need help, man. Give them real money. Lay 50 grand on these people, not $100. That's like Family Feud. They're still only winning $5,000. Is you crazy? $5,000? You split it amongst them 5 people? Is you crazy? That's why they can't get no contestants to go on Family Feud no more. Five grand? It should be 50 grand. You know, you poor people out there, man. I know you're struggling to keep a couple bucks in the bank, or you're living paycheck to paycheck. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You guys need real money. Not no $100. $100? You need real money. He should have gave that woman $1,000. Should have gave her $5,000, not $100. That's like a slap across the face. So, like I said, guys, with the garage door, it may not go according to directions. Okay, you might have to turn some of those brackets around to make them work. You might have to make stuff work. You might have to cut stuff. You know, you might have to bend a bracket or two to make it work. What I like doing is I like taking my time. Oh yeah, I got my COVID shot, and this is my COVID booster, and I got my flu shot, by the way, today. You know, because I pick up trash, man. I cannot get sick, guys. I cannot get sick because, you know, my wife's on disability. I'm the only, well, I mean, she's helping too with her disability, but, you know, I have to get food. I pay the bills. If I get sick, man, we're done. I cannot get sick. You know, back to the garage door, they're not hard to do. What I like to do is I like to do a little bit of work, and then I'll go back to it maybe a week or two, and it gives me time to think on it. Maybe I come up with a better idea. So yeah, I hope I get this bike out soon. You know, I almost forgot how to ride the thing. That's like when I get on it, I got to be careful. Sometimes like when you guys see me coming off the street down here out into the main drag, you hear the throttle like you think it's the carburetor cutting out. It's not the carburetor cutting out. This has an extreme amount of torque in the first gear, guys. Okay, all you got to do is hit that throttle a little bit, and this will virtually do a wheelie in first gear. It has too much first gear torque. It has a lot of gear in first. It has a lot of torque in first gear. So that's like when I'm making the left turn down here, I go like that. I play with the throttle a little bit. And plus it's a fat tire motorcycle. They don't make turns very easy. They're very, very hard to maneuver. But they make up with coolness. They make up being cool. And yeah, I can't sell the bike. Nobody wants to buy the bike around here. No motorcycle dealers want it because they can't sell them. Now there is a motorcycle dealer that sells choppers down in Texas. They'll buy it. And there's also another one in Florida. They'll buy it. But the problem with that is I live in Pennsylvania. Now there was a guy over in Ohio. He has 4 other big dogs. He wanted to give me $5,000 for the motorcycle. And I'll be honest with you, I'd take that right now. I would take that because I want the Jeep more. I want the Wrangler more than I want that bike. But I made some comments to him about Trump because he's a Trumper. So he's basically off limits. So okay, guys, I'm gonna call it quits, man. And I would have recorded how I was doing work in that garage, guys, but it takes so long, man. Took me about 6.5 hours to do all that stuff I just showed you guys on that door back there. As of right now, I'm gonna get myself something to drink and I'm gonna lay down.